Welcome to the final unit of our Introduction to HTTP course, which is part of the Make Intermediate series. By now, you should have a good grasp of what HTTP is, its capabilities, and how to use HTTP GET and POST requests within Make. In this unit, we'll delve into how HTTP can connect with webhooks. You'll discover the synergy between these two technologies and the advantages that come along with their integration. Let's dive in and explore the exciting benefits of merging HTTP with webhooks. Let's talk a bit about webhooks and how they can be useful for you. Imagine you've got two different apps or scenarios and you want them to communicate instantly when something specific happens. That's where webhooks come in. Webhooks act like messengers, notifying you immediately when an event occurs in another application. This is really handy because it allows you to set up a direct link, essentially a URL, that other apps or scenarios can call or contact when an event triggers. Think of webhooks as a bridge connecting various platforms to Make, or even connecting different scenarios within Make. This means you get real-time data without having to constantly check for updates yourself. Remember, while we'll explore this topic in more depth later, understanding the basics of how webhooks work gives you the power to streamline your processes right now. Imagine you have a special mailbox outside your house. This mailbox is unique because other people can drop off messages for you anytime something important happens. That's essentially how webhooks function. The URL for a webhook acts like the address of this special mailbox. When an external system needs to alert you about an event, it sends a message to this address. Once you receive a message, you have the flexibility to decide what to do next. For example, you might use this information in a Make scenario to trigger a series of automated actions. Typically, when using Make modules without webhooks, you initiate contact with other systems. Think of it as placing a call. However, webhooks reverse this direction, allowing other systems to inform you instantly. This exchange can become an essential part of your workflow, enabling real-time communication that enhances efficiency and responsiveness. Webhooks are a powerful tool often used at the start of a scenario to immediately kick off its execution. Imagine them as an instant trigger that sets everything in motion without delay. This makes them highly efficient for scenarios where timing is critical. You can easily identify a webhook by looking for the lightning bolt icon or the instant tag in your module. These visual cues help you recognize that this module will activate instantly, ensuring your scenario begins processing as soon as the webhook receives a signal. Understanding this instant nature is key to leveraging webhooks effectively in your workflows. Let's delve a bit deeper into how webhooks differ from traditional HTTP. Imagine HTTP as a two-way communication between a client and server, where one asks and the other replies. Webhooks, however, function more like a one-way notification system. Instead of a client requesting data, a webhook is set up to passively wait for updates from another application. This means, in the context of Make, a webhook stands ready to receive incoming data, contrasting with the HTTP module, which actively reaches out to gather or send information. By visualizing a webhook as an automated alert system, you can see how it streamlines processes by instantly transferring data as soon as events occur. No need for manual polling or requests. This immediate response mechanism makes webhooks particularly efficient for real-time data synchronization between platforms. So, what actually triggers a webhook? Essentially, a webhook is activated by specific events, either within Make itself or from an external source. These events can be actions or updates that occur in another application or within a separate scenario. For instance, you might configure a webhook to activate whenever a form on your website is submitted or when a new order is made on your online store. In our exercise today, we'll illustrate how a webhook can be triggered by an event in Make using a POST request from another scenario. This demonstration will allow you to test the process directly within Make, eliminating the need for any external web services or applications. Understanding these triggers is crucial for effectively automating and integrating your various applications and scenarios. Before we dive into building your new scenario, it's important to have all the necessary groundwork in place. Think of this as making sure all your ingredients are prepped before cooking a recipe. For this task, you'll be utilizing a webhook you created earlier in Unit 3. Imagine these scenarios as two pieces of a puzzle. The scenario you developed earlier serves as the foundation for what you're about to create. Missing this piece would be like trying to bake a cake without flour. It simply won't work. If you haven't set up the Make Intermediate 3 scenario yet, it's crucial to revisit Unit 3 and complete it. Don't worry if you need to pause and catch up. It's all part of building a strong understanding. Once you've got everything ready, you're all set to continue crafting your new scenario seamlessly. Great work on setting up the Make Intermediate 3 scenario. Now, you'll be taking on an exciting task that requires you to juggle two scenarios at once. Make Intermediate 3 and 4. This might feel a bit unconventional, but it's crucial for fully grasping the interconnected nature of these exercises. By having both scenarios open in separate browser tabs or windows, you can seamlessly switch between them. This will assist you in maintaining a clear overview of how each scenario interacts with the other. Think of this exercise like playing a complex orchestral piece where each scenario represents an instrument contributing to a harmonious whole. Keep both scenarios active as you follow along with the exercise. This dual setup will not only guide you through the process, but also enhance your understanding of their collaborative functions. Once you're ready, you'll discover how working simultaneously elevates the overall experience. Let's dive in and explore the synergy between these scenarios. Welcome back. Now that you have both scenarios open, it's time to dive into the building phase. Remember Lisa? She's eager to offer exclusive promotions to her loyal customers subscribed to her newsletter. Our goal today is to help her achieve this seamlessly. Previously, you transformed data from Google Sheets into a JSON string and used the HTTP post method to send it to a webhook. This set the foundation for identifying newsletter subscribers. In this exercise, you'll take it a step further. Once users subscribe, you'll automatically send them promotional emails. The process uses the same webhook from the HTTP module introduced earlier. By triggering this setup, you'll enable Lisa to efficiently engage with her customers, ensuring they stay informed and excited about her offerings. Take each step methodically, building on what you learned, and you'll master this scenario in no time. Let's get started. Let's dive into building your scenario using webhooks. You're working with the Make Intermediate 3 scenario, and your starting point is the custom webhook module you've set up earlier. Remember, a webhook is a critical component that acts as an instant trigger at the beginning of your scenario. This setup is essential because it captures and processes data as soon as it's sent through the HTTP post from the previous scenario, Make Intermediate 3. Now, to ensure you're working with the correct data structure, open the webhooks module configuration and click on Redetermine Data Structure. This action will automatically map out the incoming data's structure, tailored to the information you sent using the HTTP post module. This process is important to ensure that the data your system receives fits seamlessly into the scenario you've planned. By doing so, you ensure a smooth, error-free continuation of your automation process. Now that you're ready to build your scenario, it's time to take the next steps. The first thing you'll do is determine the data structure by running your webhook. Start by navigating to the Make Intermediate 3 scenario and running it once. This will send data directly to your webhook, allowing it to recognize what kind of information it will receive. Once you've run the scenario, head back to Make Intermediate 4. Here you'll see a notification indicating that the data structure has been successfully determined. This confirmation means your webhook is now set to map incoming data to subsequent modules effectively. It's important to note that while this process sets up the data structure, it doesn't include data validation. Validation is a separate step you may need to handle depending on your specific requirements. Finally, click OK to save your configuration, ensuring all your settings are applied correctly. To build a successful email automation scenario, you'll want to include the email. Send an email module. This module will handle sending promotional emails to customers who have subscribed to your newsletter. Begin by connecting this module to your existing email account. Once connected, you'll set the recipient by clicking Add a Recipient. In the email address 1-inch field, make sure to pull in the email from your webhooks module. This ensures that the right people are getting your updates. For testing purposes, it's wise to include your own email address as well. This allows you to receive the same email your customers will, giving you the ability to confirm everything looks perfect before it reaches their inboxes. Testing this way helps ensure your automation runs smoothly and effectively. To set up your email module, start by entering the subject line. In this example, we've used "You got a promo code from Make" to grab your customer's attention. Remember, a catchy subject line can greatly increase the chances of your email being opened. Next, choose the content type for your email. You have several options, but here we opted for HTML. This choice allows you to include formatting and styling, making your email more visually appealing. HTML is ideal if you want to incorporate images, links, or various text styles to better engage your audience. With these configurations, you're well on your way to creating a compelling and effective email communication. Now that you're working on the content of your email, think about the message you want to convey to your customers regarding the promo offer. This is an opportunity to get creative. You have the flexibility to use HTML tags to format your text, allowing you to make your message more engaging and visually appealing. For example, using paragraph tags like the "and" helps organize your message by clearly separating each idea into its own section. Once you've composed and formatted your email content, remember to click OK to save your module configuration. Finally, make sure to save the entire scenario to preserve your progress. This way, you'll have everything ready to go to the next step. Now that you've constructed your scenario, it's time to see it in action. Begin by clicking Run Once. This will initiate the testing process. You'll notice a pop-up in the bottom left corner. Click Use Existing Data. This step is crucial because it allows the webhook to draw from the data you've already provided, making your testing more efficient. Think of it like using a save game to practice new strategies without starting from scratch each time. If you're curious about how this all works visually, click the image for a demonstration. This will give you a clearer idea of what to expect and how each element interacts. Remember, testing is a critical part of refining your work, so take your time exploring each step. Now that you've completed the initial steps, let's explore the results of your scenario. Check your email inbox to see what has been delivered. If you set your own email address as the recipient in the email module, you should receive a message showcasing the outcome. This email is more than just a simple message, it's a validation of your work. Every time you clicked Run Once in the Make Intermediate 3 for scenario, a new email was generated demonstrating how your inputs drive real interactions. Notice how this process simulates an authentic promotional campaign. It leverages automation to engage users efficiently, offering them a promo code as an incentive. This mirrors real-world tactics businesses use to encourage future engagement and sales. Enjoy the satisfaction of seeing your work come to life, and think about how this basic framework can be expanded upon to offer even more dynamic and personalized interactions with users. Now that you're set to test your scenarios, let's go step by step. First, Ensure that everything is in order by carefully reviewing each part of your process. Once you're satisfied with how everything looks, it's time to activate the scenarios. You'll do this by switching the schedule button to on, which starts the automation. An important part of this process involves deciding how to handle your data. You'll get a pop-up with options to process old data first or to only work with incoming new data. Old data refers to what you sent using the HTTP post method from an earlier scenario, while new data includes any fresh registrations for your newsletter. Once both scenarios are live, they work seamlessly. Every time someone new subscribes to your newsletter, the webhook triggers automatically, sending an email to the new subscriber without you having to lift a finger. This automation can save a lot of time and ensures a smooth experience for your customers. In this scenario, we explored how Make Intermediate 3, 3, and Make Intermediate 3, 4 are seamlessly connected. When something happens in 3, 3, it automatically sets off actions in 3, 4 without needing you to jump in manually. Let's break it down a bit more. Think of the HTTP module in Make Intermediate 3. 3 is the signal sender. When the signal is triggered, it prompts a response from the webhook in Make Intermediate 3. 4. This connection means that whenever new data is sent, the webhook activates immediately. However, it's important to note that the webhook will stay inactive unless it detects this fresh data. This process ensures your workflow is smooth and efficient, engaging systems only when necessary. Understanding this connection helps in automating tasks and keeping your operations running smoothly without constant supervision. Taking advantage of this automation can significantly save time and reduce manual work. Congratulations on completing this unit. You've made fantastic progress in your automation journey. Throughout this section, we've explored essential topics such as connecting an HTTP module to a webhook and understanding exactly what webhooks are. Webhooks play a crucial role in enabling real-time data transfers and making communication between different applications much more seamless. You've also learned about how HTTP and webhooks interact, creating a dynamic duo that greatly enhances data automation. Using HTTP with webhooks provides the advantage of immediacy, allowing applications to respond instantly to new information. This capability is especially beneficial in scenarios where time-sensitive data is essential. As you move forward, you'll dive deeper into webhooks and explore their full potential. Before wrapping up, make sure to check your understanding of these concepts to ensure you're ready for the next steps. Keep up the great work and let's prepare to take your skills to the next level.